This is Duke University.
The tree is everywhere. It's not only in the river basins and in the lightning, it's also in the river deltas, it's in the lungs, every living tissue, the vascularization is that, the brain, electricity flowing, you name it where. And then you can look at small scales, you find these configurations. You look at large scales, you see them everywhere. The flow of the atmosphere is basically trees with their branches flailing and breaking in the winds. The oceanic currents are the same thing again. The animals are moving on Earth as animal mass flowing through their own river channels of migration and social behavior. Same with us in the civilized world. The society is a web of a tree on top of a tree. Our traffic trees flowing through the streets of the city, on top of the trees for the delivery of mail, for the delivery of milk, for the collection of sewage, for the collection of rainwater. Okay, so the nature, the world appears complicated, but is in fact this superposition of a geometry, not a geometry, a drawing, the tree in this case, a drawing that unites. The drawing doesn't care whether what flows is animate or inanimate. In other words, biology and geophysics are one thing in the under the tent of the constructal law of design in nature. The constructal law of design in nature is this: for a finite size flow system to persist in time, and I put in parentheses, that means to live, its configuration must evolve, that means to change in time, such that it provides easier and easier access to its currents. The game has evolved in the direction of the constructal law. The game has developed important features, such, meaning larger channels, richer individuals in the crowd. The center gets the ball more frequently because the center has easier access to the basket. The great shooter gets the ball more frequently because that is also an easier channel to the basket. The better dribbler gets the ball more frequently. Just like the air route between Atlanta and Paris, it gets the airplanes more frequently because it has the bigger and the faster airplanes. You see, the infrastructure varies from case to case, but what flows through this infrastructure flows in the same way. It flows with hierarchy. Basketball is not a game where every player, they take the total amount of playing time and divide it equally between players. Basketball is not communism, okay? Basketball, even under communism, was played correctly with hierarchy. All right? Today, with the constructal principle, there is a lot that's going on. I'll give you an example from our own work. We've been involved for several years in the very exciting game of developing, actually inventing the flow configuration of future vehicles. This means not copying from nature. This means making these bodies of mass move, like the animals, move more and more easily, meaning with less fuel. And we're discovering that one way to make them lighter and stronger and capable of withstanding damage, not just mechanical, such as fissures or fracture, but damage under the attack of high-intensity energy beams, is to vascularize the skins. If this structural body develops fissures, then a vasculature is in place in order to guide healing fluid, such an epoxy and hardener, and fill each fissure to make it solid again, to glue it together in flight. And so there's a new field now, which is the development of vascular smart structures. These were unwittingly sketched on paper for the first time here, long before there was such a field.
Produced by Duke University. Online at duke.edu.